Warning. The media that is about to play will contain graphic and foul language, but is intended to be entertaining. The opinions shared here may not be shared by everyone, or may even be just for laughs. If you are easily offended, don't have a sense of humour, have your head up your ass fighting for air, love patting yourself on the back because you are lonely and don't have a life, or you don't attempt to be a good person, this isn't for you. Everyone else, please try and have fun, and as always, stay creative.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bryan SilverBax Show. Today, I am joined with my co-host, JR Mounts. What's up, buddy?
What's up there, Bryan?
Today, we are going to be talking about some recasting news and how we feel about it. So, The Princess Bride. This installment is stumbled off. I'm just going to start this fucking thing over.
That's okay. Yeah,
you know what? I told myself I'm not going to start over. But this installment's brought to you by Capone Streams, which is going to be back online now for all your streaming television needs. Stick around. Wow, dude. I guess you can tell it's Monday.
Yeah.
You can tell it's Monday because I don't know when this is. I'm not sure. I haven't done the math yet, but today is Monday when we're recording this. And golly, I didn't realize I would be this out of it on a Monday morning. Today I began doing my work, like my quote unquote workout. Like I got up at 7 o'clock this morning, and I went for a 30-minute walk, and I plan on doing this every day until my neck no longer overlaps the rim of my shirt. Like, I saw myself in a photo the other day, and I was like, holy shit, I have neck meat on the top of the shirt. Yeah. Like, it's not supposed to do that.
I get you. When someone says, hey, man, keep your chins up, it'll get better. You're like, wait, my chins, plural, up?
Someone says that to you for real? No, oh, God, I don't know how I'd tell. I'm like,
just
come
saying,
on,
like,
dude.
Someone says, keep your chin up. I'm like, oh, well, which one is that?
Yeah.
They're all hanging pretty low.
The middle one? But no, so I saw a picture of myself or a video of myself that I did talking about traffic. And I knew that I was overweight. I know that I am overweight, as in current tense. But man, I saw myself talking to the camera, and I was like, there's so much flesh touching the outside neck of my shirt that I need to get a handle on this.
Yeah, I agree with
before I end up looking like a balloon that has popped out of a sausage wrapper.
Because these things, look, we do conventions, and when we get home, we're always working on our stuff. Everything we do is sit down, sit down, sit down. Yeah. And look, this stuff, as we get older, man, I mean, we're not young guys anymore, so this stuff adds up. The calories that we put on, they add up.
The nachos don't help.
Well, no, they don't help.
The nachos don't help. The gummy bears don't help.
But you're doing something about it.
The beer doesn't help. Yeah, so, but all that to say, this is Monday, and today was my first day of walking for 30 minutes before and I got up about an hour earlier than I normally do. Okay. And went for a walk. So that's where we are today. My Falcons lost this weekend. They tried. They at least showed up to play the second half. They at least showed up to play the second half because I think they just had like the tryout people.
They didn't go out as bad as they could have.
No, well, they didn't even play the first half. They should have had. They should have been pretty jazzed up.
Yeah, they shouldn't have had the cheerleaders in their suits at that.
I don't know
because they can't do that.
I don't know what happened, man. But this weekend was Batman weekend, Batman Day.
I totally
Saturday.
Missed that. I totally missed it.
So this year's copy of Batman was the Batman Who Laughs was like here. Let me show you real quick.
So this is what you did with your Batman weekend?
Well, that's the issue that was the free comic book for Batman Day. Okay. And it's got like 2 or 3 stories. See, I've not been reading the Batman Who Laughs, so I'm not super familiar with all the story.
I'm waiting till they collect it all because I hate waiting for issue. It's like television. I would rather binge than
Netflix is getting rid of the bingeable shit.
What?
Netflix is going to start releasing weekly. Like if it's let's say the new season of Orange is New Black comes out. I know that they're not doing one. Right. But instead of just dropping the whole season, it'll be episode 1, episode 2, and then a week later, episode 3. Just like the way the DC streaming service did.
Right.
And
But you could still go back and get older episodes, though.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, like, on release day, they're not dropping the whole series.
Okay.
It'll be the series starts on this day, and then you have to get weekly installments.
Then I will wait
until it's all done.
Yeah.
Well, I think what in a perfect world, we'd watch the first episode just to get the feel of it.
Sure.
And then maybe we'll wait 9 weeks and then watch it all together.
I did that with Stranger Things and Castle Rock and ended up just like binging the holy hell out of those things. Yeah. I loved them.
I just introduced my wife to Game of Thrones.
Oh, just?
Like we're currently in the middle of it.
Wow.
So we get about 3, maybe 1 to 3 episodes a day every now and then.
Okay.
So we just got to the point where
what season are you in?
We're like 3. Here's where we stopped. We just finished season 5, so they just stabbed Jon Stark or Jon Snow at the end of the episode, and everybody's like, for the watch.
Yeah,
for the watch,
that's right.
For the watch. And my wife was like, I know he's making. I saw the last episode. Like, she watched me watch kind of bits and pieces of the final season,
right, yeah.
So she knows that he makes it through. But she's like, I don't understand what the fuck just happened.
Right.
Is this a dream? I said, no, baby.
See, that's the kind of catch-22. It's like when you're watching it episodically, you were there in the moment with the fans watching every episode. You're going, holy crap, they just killed him.
Yeah, and you got to wait.
And you're wondering.
Well, first off, and I was like, I told her, babe, now we have to wait a year to see how this resolves. Can you imagine?
Yeah, no.
Like the year you have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Or even from week to week, it's a little bit like, oh shit, I gotta wait a whole week.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that a show has done its job, when you're like, I can't believe that's where I have to sit there and mull
Especially
over
when you're
this.
looking at your watch going, wait, it just ended? Because my wife and I just finished Mindhunters, the second season, and it's basically a series on Netflix about how
that's a serial killer show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's how the FBI developed profiling for serial killers in the late 70s, early 80s.
So it's real?
It's fascinating. It's all real stuff. Yeah.
Or is it based on true?
I should say
they still have to dramatize it.
Fictional drama based on how they learned how to profile and how they came up with the term serial killer. Because this is the 60 days of Halloween, Brian. I'm doing all kinds of Halloween.
I saw that.
So but Mindhunters is one of those things where I don't know that I could do it episodically. I need to be able to know 3 episodes in, 4 episodes in.
That's how I did True Detective.
And go, True Detectives and all of those. I couldn't wait a week for that. That series is so freaking good.
I did. I had forgotten that the 3rd season started, so I got to watch like the first 4 episodes.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, I had to wait.
Yeah, I don't have HBO anymore, so I'm just going to buy the damn thing because I keep hearing like season 3 is fantastic. So.
Oh, it's so good.
But I love binging things like that. I love the bingeable stuff because it's changed my life. Especially since, like, as you go into, like, I never saw 24. I never saw Deadwood.
Yeah.
But, like,
I've heard good things about Deadwood. I've heard good things about Justified.
Deadwood's fantastic. Justified, I hear, I'm going to watch that right after Deadwood because, again,
I like Ian McShane.
Yeah,
I like Ian McShane, and I like Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah.
I love them.
They're solid. And their cast, their surrounding
Speaking
cast
of that,
great.
Walton Goggins. You would recognize him if you saw him. He was in Ant-Man and the Wasp, the second one. He was like the businessman bad guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. He's awesome.
He was also in Django.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about, the character?
Yep.
He's in a lot of Tarantino stuff.
No, Tarantino loves this guy.
But now he's doing a sitcom. Like I was watching football yesterday, and he's doing a sitcom where him and his neighbors, like he's just a regular dude. It's totally not the badass that. Also, Walton Goggins was the bad guy in Justified.
I see. I didn't know that. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's the bad guy in Justified.
Okay. All right.
And speaking of Walton Goggins, when I worked for the Cobb County Parks and Rec Department, Walton Goggins' brother also worked for the Parks and Rec Department. He was like their painter, and he used to tell us about his brother Walt in Hollywood and stuff like that.
He's great in Hateful Eight.
Yeah, in Hateful Eight. Yes.
So good in Hateful Eight.
There's nothing bad in Hateful Eight.
No, Hateful Eight's just
dude, Channing Tatum.
the whole thing was great.
Jeffrey Dahmer or whatever the Dahmer gang. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was a great film.
In the world of that, R.I.P. Sid Haig. Sid
Yeah, I
Haig
just heard about that.
passed away over the weekend.
Yeah, rest in peace, buddy.
I never got to meet him in person. I never did a show
I never
with
met him in person, but I was at shows where he was at, and always a great guy, always a very funny guy. People forget how funny he is. He plays the crazy guys, but he's good at what he does. He's a smart ass.
Yeah, I wish I had a chance to meet him in person. I did. Excuse me. I did have some stuff signed by him. Excuse me. What the fuck? Oh, I'm dying
this
here.
Will be edited out of the actual podcast.
It will not.
Oh,
you think I'd be smoking
phlegm
weed?
Portion of that.
Like, give me a hit of that weed, man. No, he did do a horror convention here in Atlanta. I forgot what it's called.
Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
Yep.
And my friend Tony was able to get my sketch card signed that I drew of him.
Sweet, rock on.
But I didn't get a chance to go out there myself. So
he was always a very big presence. I've done a couple horror shows, a couple sci-fi shows where he would just end up being there, and always great. Never always had a huge line, but always had time to talk to anybody who came up to him.
As the stories popped up in my feed today, our feed in social media is generally a lot of fellow artists and people come to shows. So I'm getting to see a lot of stories of people saying, "Oh, I was sitting next to this guy, and he was just bullshitting with me, and it was how much fun that they had just being in the show with him." And I was like, you know what? That's cool.
Yeah.
It sucks that he had to pass away, but now you've got all this, like, basically
memory.
a trade paperback of all these stories today that you'll be able to scroll through your feed and see all this.
It's
stuff
great to
that
hear
he's
all
about.
the great things that people will remember about him, because he brought so much of his own personality to his roles. I had never heard of Sid Haig until the
Rob Zombie
stuff. Yeah, but he had been doing stuff. I'm sure I've watched stuff with him in it.
Dude, I watched Bobby Nash's post, and he's got like a little collage of all the shit. I'm like, golly, dude, this guy's been acting since like the 60s or something. Like, if you look at those pictures,
you see the Guido mustache they always gave him back in the day.
And then this weird like space pirate uniform he had on. I was like, what?
I almost thought it was like, oh, is that Flash Gordon? Is he doing
Is he Ming the Merciless?
Exactly, that's what I thought. But no, rest in peace, Sig, and our thoughts go out to your family.
And I honestly really, really, really want to watch 3 from Hell.
I don't know. All right. I'm a Rob Zombie fan-ish, okay? I love his music. His movies disturb me because, like, although I love my Jasons, my Leatherfaces, and Michael Myers, Rob Zombie sides with the villains.
That's okay, but I mean, you think of it, like Thanos was a villain, and I really like the Thanos character.
Thanos got what was coming to him. There was a balance in the universe.
Yeah, well, at the end of every horror movie, the bad guy gets what's coming to him.
It wasn't filmed from Thanos' point of view.
Oh, that would have been the
right?
shit.
Well, yeah, it would have changed things. Well, Zombie tends to film from look at Devil's Rejects. All right. He's filming from the...
Which one is the second one? The first
Devil's
one is
Rejects
House of a Thousand Corpses?
Yeah.
I did not like that one.
Yeah, I went back and saw that one after Devil's Rejects.
And I liked Devil's Rejects, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is about Devil's Rejects that I did like. I don't know if the word is like, or found intriguing, or found captivating. Like, it was like, I guess, a day in the life. It was much like watching Natural Born Killers.
Sure.
Like, you're just watching people that have lost their shit.
I liken it to also Pulp Fiction too, because when Tarantino's Pulp Fiction came out, I had never known noir, and this was kind of like Grindhouse meets noir. So my wife and I got out of the theater going, we loved it, but why did we love it? Because if we were to talk about this film to anybody, it doesn't sound like anything we would enjoy. And Zombies films kind of emulate that too. I liked his Halloween. I love his casting, except for Sherry Moon. I just hate her.
Isn't that his wife?
Yeah. So what?
She gets to put a wiener in there.
Don't care.
At least we get to see her naked most of the time.
Just looks dirty.
I was not a fan of the dog moon or whatever. They did a Rob Zombie did some sort of like devil worship, like voodoo movie.
Oh, the
Salem dog or something?
No, Salem, Witches of Salem.
Oh, dude, I didn't even make it through that. That was tough.
I will give him
it wasn't good.
I will give him this.
In my world,
his visual
storytelling
is fantastic. Like I don't know if I don't think it's called Witches of Salem, but it's Salem. It was a great looking film. All of his films, even House of a Thousand Corpses, have a great look.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think the execution.
Kind of Robert Rodriguez feel when you look at it.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, very Robert Rodriguez.
But
colorful, big, bright colors, really weird angles.
What did you think? What did you think about the second Halloween movie that he did?
I was disappointed in it because I really wanted it to follow what he did in the first film, but he wanted to make a very weird film, and he did.
You know what I heard, man? I heard that the studio made him do a sequel. He was just going to do the Halloween movie, one.
Sure.
Then he said, hey, I want to do the Salem movie. And the movie studio said, well, then give us a sequel to Halloween because it was successful. Okay. And so he was forced to do that, even though it wasn't like something in his plan. It wasn't something he was passionate about. And the second movie falls way short.
There's certain moments I'm thinking, because I love the original Halloween too.
I never was exposed to Halloween movies.
I loved it. It was the first Halloween film I saw in the theater.
I didn't watch any Halloween movies until Rob Zombie. Not one Michael Myers movie.
That's interesting. So you didn't come in with any preconceived
notions?
So
I enjoed it.
Well, because it's a good film. It really is.
I mean, I was familiar with the Jamie Lee Curtis storyline. I kind of knew what it was. I'd never watched the movie.
Well, that's just being the mythos. Like everybody knows who Wolverine and Spider-Man and Superman is.
Yeah. So when I watched this, it was my first time being exposed to the origin of the character, and I really liked how Rob Zombie was like, this is an abused kid, and here's how he got so fucked up.
Yeah.
They don't really explain how he doesn't die. I guess you kind of have to overlook that.
They did show the creation of a serial killer, which is what his palette was trying to emulate, which brings us back around to all this stuff.
Well, almost like creation of a serial killer. My mind, when I went, immediately Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait. October 4th.
I can't wait.
I think we should go see that during the day.
Yeah.
But my wife might get pissed.
Really?
Because she doesn't like me to go see movies without her where she's also interested in the movie.
Yeah, my wife too. But my wife also, we hate seeing films in the theater when...
I hate going to the movies.
Yeah, I hate it too. Because
there's too many people that are inconsiderate.
They don't... Yeah, exactly. They don't get off their cell phones. They don't turn their cell phones off.
They bring
babies. Bring kids to an R-rated film.
Yeah.
And so I get pissed off. To me, the movie experience is sacred. Which is why we have giant TVs in our houses these days, and Blu-rays and 4Ks, because now we can have the movie experience in our home and go pee upstairs, and then come back down. Exactly. But when you're exposed to someone else, I hate that lack of control.
I do too.
Especially when other people take you out of that moment.
Or you hear someone explaining the movie. Like the past 2 times I've gone to a movie, someone directly fucking next to me has to explain the movie to whoever they're with. And I'm like, just watch the movie. Y'all can talk about it later.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I wish that was a thing.
And I've actually been that asshole where I go, shh,
Ooh, really? You're not afraid of getting shot?
Well, but I don't stand up and say, shut the fuck, You want to.
You kind of like try to throw your voice.
But the last time I did that, I had to walk out of the theater because the kids just wouldn't shut up and the parents didn't do anything about it. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get angrier and angrier because now I'm already losing this movie. And it was like Planet of the Apes, dude. Really? Seriously.
But I try to mitigate the amount of that happening to me by going like at 11 or noon.
Yeah.
And during the week.
I agree. During the week, by yourself is the best way to do it. Unless, now what I will say on the flip side is, especially when you see a big high-octane film or a film that's very scary, I love being in a crowd that feeds off of the energy, and they're respectful of the film, but they lose their shit at the right moments.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. I see it happen to other people, and I've heard stories, but my gambling, like I'm never going to win that.
No, I know. Well, but then again, there's like, we don't want to miss Joker. Got to go see Joker.
I'm going to go see it. I'm anxious. I want to go see Zombieland.
Yeah, me too. Well,
I think that's like the same weekend or the following weekend.
What a great weekend that'll be, though.
Yeah, I have a show to do on the 5th. On that Saturday, so I have to like go watch it on Friday and then head off to Birmingham.
People give shit away. That's the other thing too, is I like to see films, but I either need to be in line on the first showing, or I need to like omit it for like 3 months before, so that people can stop.
I try to watch films that I care about enough to not be spoiled. Like Hobbs and Shaw, I know what I was getting, so I can go much later. I can wait 3 or 4 weeks to go see that. But when Avengers Endgame comes out, I need to go see that relatively soon
Before
before the
people
internet
go,
rubs
oh,
shit
did
in
you
my
hear
face.
what's his name? What's her name dies?
Ooh,
You know,
I'm
you're like,
sorry. Is that a spoiler?
Yeah. I that again, it's part of the movie experience. Right?
Yeah.
It's a sacred bond between you and the film. I saw Godzilla because I cannot not see Godzilla, but I didn't see it as many times as I would have if it hadn't been for people in the theater. And that's just my age. That's my age.
That's
I
me
get it.
being grumpy old men.
And it's my damn money, man. It's my money.
Exactly.
These aren't cheap.
Like, you figure you're paying maybe about $15 for the movie.
On
And
average.
if you get some popcorn, so you're into it for $25 to go see this movie. That same $25 in 5 months will get it for you on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's exactly my point. And I can watch it over and over and over. And I can have my popcorn that's already in my house.
Yeah. And I can get the bonus features.
Because I'm a cheap bastard. I cannot pay $10 for 4 bites of popcorn.
No. Well, okay, I do buy the popcorn because it comes with the collector bucket. But I will also stop at Dollar General and load up on the Reese's Pieces and the fucking Mike and Ike's.
Leg syndrome, like, I'm a little bloated on this
Oh,
side.
I roll down the cardboard so that there's no jiggle left in it. I'll just roll the cardboard down to make it all tight.
See, what you do is you can also buy those same candies in Walmart. That way, you're like, oh, you're doing the candies. You know,
well, no, the Dollar General, they're $1 a piece.
Oh, I know.
Large amounts.
Yeah.
But seeing as how I'm trying not to be fat, maybe I should
Yeah,
slow down on the 5 packs of gummy bears.
Something about bringing an apple into the theater probably is not going to enhance your movie experience.
Yeah. So how was your weekend? You didn't do any Batman Day stuff.
No, because I was actually at a small show in Tennessee called Cleveland Geekster, run by my friends Ryan Faricelli and Ashley Rayburn and a couple other guys that I like so much. They were very kind to me after my shitstorm of cons.
Your beginning of 2019?
Yeah, as I was swirling the bowl, as they say, circling the bowl.
Yeah. Circling the drain, I think, is the term.
I would rather not it be a drain. I want people to know I'm in the shit bowl.
Well, yeah, but that would make you a turd.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. Yes. So they reached out to me and said, hey, we always have a table for you here. So
always have a table for you. Look at that.
Well, again, thank you very much, guys. Just to let everybody know that when you've got friends like this, it is really nice to know that people have your back.
Yeah.
Even if like me, as a very prideful person, I did not want anybody to have my back, but I was in a tailspin of need.
Yeah.
So I took advantage of it. Got to hang with my friends. And sold a few.
Was it a one-day thing?
It was a one-day, one-and-done gymnasium show. For the locals.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really sell a lot of comics there. It's really just an excuse for me to go hang out with my buddies. But I did, Brian, clear out of my big boy toys.
Oh, so you actually went to go sell? Like you were a vendor, not just.
Well, they were a backup.
I'm not JR, the creator. I'm JR. I've got a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
This is my yard sale.
I had my books. All right. A few pickle books. I had a lot of my new art. And I took a whole extra table and just put all my toys and just said, see what these will sell. And, so I sold toys.
You made more money on toys than you did on
the
JR creator?
Except for like one guy who bought my books.
All right.
Yeah, all my money.
Now, these were toys that you don't want to get rid of, correct? Yeah, that you wish you hadn't have been able.
I would rather have not, yeah.
So what
or should we say action figures? So that
action figures, like dolls.
But yeah,
knickknacks.
I sold them because, again, it was good money, to just get rid of these things. I had tried selling them at eBay at one point, and I was also looking at my fandom, going, all right, what do I really want to keep bringing in? I always want to keep bringing in my movies. I always got to keep bringing in my games, and music. I always got to keep bringing in music. So I thought, if I want to keep drawing. Then I gotta cut some fat. And I have a lot of fat to cut.
I've got a limit until I hit the lottery or something. Yeah. I need to cut down on my what I want to collect.
And I don't collect the Hot Toys sideshow.
Oh God, dang! That's like $200 a pop.
Yeah, I know. No, nothing I have
one
is
a
worth
year.
Anything. So being able to shed some outer skin, because I figure my enjoyment of these toys came from the movies. Or the comic books.
Now, were you selling stuff that was still in the box, or like shit that you had just displayed.
I'm a guy who rips open that box. Mm-hmm. But in the last few years of when I was collecting, I'm like, maybe I won't take out that Christopher.
Maybe I'll buy two.
Superman. Yeah, no.
I'll buy two. I'll keep one in the box, store it somewhere.
Then you got a problem.
Oh shit, I got a problem.
I look at it like I want to interact with the stuff. I'm 50 years old. I want to interact with the stuff I still got, and I can't have toys in a box. Because then I'm like,
it's hard to interact with them. Yeah,
I can pop in a video game anytime. I can crack open one of my books.
Now, how was your pricing set up at your table? Did you just? I'm saying, did you individually price everything, or did you just wait for someone to pick something up and say, "How much is this?"
I did spend quite a bit of time on eBay going, all right, so what's this going for?
All right,
high and low. What's this going for on average?
Yeah,
and I come to find out that I collect a lot of worthless shit. so in doing so, I'm like, okay, well, that's not worth anything. That'll go in the $5 bin. All right, that.
So you had bins labeled like $5, $10, $20
bin, $10 bin, and I took a bath on all of it to get it to sell. They were priced to move.
God dang! The highest price item you had was $10.
I did take a couple of boxed items that were like 20, 25, but like some of these.
Did they move?
Oh hell yeah! Because they're worth $90 on.
Oh my
eBay.
gosh, man!
yeah, man. But they weren't selling on eBay. That's my whole point. And here's my problem. All right.
You could sell them to your dealer friends, like your guys that run comic book shops.
I tried.
They'll at least pay 50%.
No, they did not.
Usually.
No, not once. I had 3 guys that
it's
I
like
know
watching
very
Pawn
well.
Stars.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give you a quarter what it's worth, and then I'll work my way up to half.
They wanted to buy these things for what I was selling them at Geekster. All right?
Okay.
They did not want to buy them for what I was willing to let them go for based on the research I had done.
Right.
I thought, hey, I'll take 50% on these things, And
what
you
is
take 10% of these things? I'm like, thank you very much. Goodbye.
out of all the stuff you sold this weekend, what was the hardest one to part with?
Christopher Reeve, Superman.
Like in the box?
Yeah.
How was it? A tall one?
Nope. Just a little 6-inch. But I really wanted to keep that and my Adam West Batman. Just because these are these harken back to the movies that we loved so much. And I'm like, oh my god, they finally made a Christopher Reeve Superman. How awesome, But I said goodbye to that because I'd already said goodbye to my Michael Keaton Batman.
Man.
But again, I'm okay with that because I get to feed my family, pay a couple bills, and I have some room left. And now maybe I can get that Michael Myers NECA 2018 toy. Now, see, I'm justifying.
You've brought it back to movies. Now, there's been some recent chatter on the internet about remaking The Princess Bride,
which is interesting because we were just talking about the Rob Zombie remake, which we both enjoyed.
Yeah, but I don't know how I feel about this. What is your initial feeling when you heard?
I have a hard line. I'd rather have someone take a dump in my mouth than see a remake of any kind of Princess Bride.
Oh, wow.
Because on the subject of remakes, there's been some fails, and there have mostly been fails, and then there's been some very inspired reimaginations and really good remakes, and then completely just why do they even make it? Because it's the same damn thing.
Yeah.
So because I've been researching a lot of my own movies and going through and thinking back to my likes and dislikes, but there are some films you just don't fucking touch.
Like Point Break.
Yeah, what a pointless remake. The Hitcher, all right? Pointless remakes, because when you've got Rutger Hauer, all right, as the Hitcher.
First off, hobo with a shotgun. Have you seen that?
Yeah, he's Rutger Hauer. Right? Rest in peace, Rutger Hauer, because he will forever be fantastic. But they didn't remake Blade Runner. They added to the
Yes,
mythos.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I loved it too. They didn't remake The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. They added to it, which got panned, but I loved it. I thought it was great.
What about It? What about It?
Okay, as far as I'm concerned, that first one was shit to begin with. That television one?
Yeah.
Television series was fucking stupid. I don't care what anybody says. That was stupid. It was dumb. And
it was also made for TV. Yeah. I think that's part of the why it didn't come out the way it's supposed to. Tim Curry's a
great actor, and his Pennywise was fine, but his Pennywise wasn't scary.
But it wasn't. I don't believe that's his fault, though.
No, I don't think it's his fault.
That's just what it was designed to be.
I think it was just written weekly. It was a stupid 90s miniseries.
Yeah.
It was also the only thing we had for Stephen King, but it was weak.
Do you count that the new It as a remake?
I don't.
Or just like
I see it as finally they did it right.
Okay.
Any more than I saw Michael Keaton's Batman as a remake of the 1966 Adam West.
Yeah, I guess the difference is remake and reboot. Like, what's the difference there?
Reboot is a complete reimagining where the story is finally told. And they don't cut any corners. They add stuff that the original weak-ass attempts didn't do. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, they might expand it a bit more, but they also are still very true to the subject matter. Hence, Rob Zombie's Michael Myers Halloween.
Yeah, but
it was great.
Where would the RoboCop? The
RoboCop was
the newest one.
A bit of both. Unfortunately, that RoboCop was not a film that needed to be remade.
No.
But if you're gonna remake it, I thought Joel Kinnaman was a great actor. I really liked it. Just the overall production was still too slick, and
is it a remake or a reboot?
I think that was a reboot.
Because
like Amityville Horror was a complete remake, and Psycho was a complete remake, shot for shot, and both films just sort of fell flat because it's kind of like, well, why do we need this?
What about Total Recall? That was a completely different movie.
Yeah, that sucked. Again, there's just some films you don't need to remake, or if you're gonna remake it, give us something cool. Especially if it's a film that was okay but could have been done better, like It.
Yeah.
The miniseries was fine, but it's just laughably stupid. The new It is fantastic, and it doesn't cut any corners.
Yeah.
You wouldn't remake Aliens.
No, I guess you just keep adding to it.
I'm fine if you add to it. I'm cool with that. It's like the Predator mythos. You add to those, but like, you remake The Fly because back in the day you could only do so many things with a man in a mask. But the reimagining of The Fly was fantastic. I thought it was great. The Fog should have been an easy remake because, again, I love Carpenter, but that film could have been done pretty well, pretty scary. And they shit the bed on that one because they made it a stupid-ass Harlequin romance.
Do you think that part of the what justifies a remake is special effects and everything have just gotten better, and now we can tell the story that we need to?
Maybe yes for special effects types of films, but special effects don't come
Let's go to
down
Star
to
Wars, A New Hope.
Okay.
Star Wars: A New Hope.
That's on my list of you would never fucking remake that.
Yeah,
because
but you realize
you don't need it.
You could basically make it look like Episode 1, and then just CG everything.
Yeah, well, but see, that's a reimagining. But how far you go, and I think it really comes down to when people 100 years now go, God, that Star Wars movie was kind of weak. You know, when you look at if you watch Star Wars without John Williams' score, right?
Well, how can you do that though? Just put that bitch on mute.
Well, there's a way to admit it, but if you did that, it's a lesser film.
Yeah,
if you took the special
any
effects
movie,
out,
if you take the soundtrack and the score out of it,
except for Lady Hawk, that score sucks balls.
Great film. What I'm saying that any decent movie that if you take the music out, it's a different movie.
Especially if the movie is a character itself. The Superman score, anything from John Williams. But there's some films that maybe it's too new. Maybe there's some films you just don't remake. You don't remake Casablanca.
All right.
But because it's fine by itself.
Let's take it back to Princess Bride.
All right. We're talking sacred territory here.
This is a very... I don't know I don't know that if I've ever met anybody that does not like this film.
Oh,
maybe I've heard people say it's not for them, but no one has said this film is shit.
When I first saw the film back in the day, I thought it was a silly little film.
Yeah,
I thought it was like, okay, but this is cool. But I like Rob Reiner's. So Rob Reiner's films have a very good feel to them. They feel good. Ron Howard's films feel good. I'd never known Cary Elwes or Robin Wright, and the film. I think
we were only familiar with Fred Savage when that movie came out. I think all of us just knew him from the Wonder Years, and that's about as far. And maybe what was the Wizard, the one where he had the NES glove?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that was.
Was that not Fred Savage? I'm pretty sure that was Fred Savage.
Maybe you're right. I kept thinking it was. No, I'm thinking Page Master with Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Terrible film. But yeah, I think the greatest thing about Princess Bride is so many people, when they saw it, that became their film for that era. And which is why Princess Bride is so sacred. It made a star out of Cary Elwes.
Yeah.
And he is a fantastic actor, by the way. When you see Saw, you relate to him.
Yeah.
You know, you love him. If anybody had ever seen Psych, the television series, he plays a kind of like
He's on
an
Psych?
English spy. Well, he shows up as a guest star. He's a repeating guest star, and he's like this sleuth thief, that they're always trying to catch, and he's just charming, and he's just Cary Elwes, and there's other things about the movie that you got the guy with inconceivable. He's fantastic.
Yes.
All right. You got Mandy Patinkin. I am the six-finger man.
Mandel Bruce Patinkin.
Yeah.
All right. So Princess Bride was in 1987.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like Fred Savage. He was in Vice Versa. Little Monsters in 89.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like he was.
He went on to writing and direct. He did do a couple of television series later on.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but before Princess Bride, he was a nobody anyway. No, Wonder Years isn't even on here yet.
Oh, okay.
Let's
all right.
see.
So
where are we going to Wonder Years? The Legend, Seinfeld. Wonder Years is in 1988.
Okay, so maybe he got the job for Wonder Years.
I guess.
I just thought it. My brain remembers them all at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
Because he's so iconic. He was
But
the
needless
kid.
to say, I didn't see The Wizard. I don't know if I didn't go far enough.
Well, vice versa, he's very good at.
Yeah.
But then again, what's interesting about the film is the grandfather-son portion of him reading the book to him is not part of the William Goldman book of The Princess Bride. So that's what made
it's a fun delivery mechanism.
Yeah, and that's what made the movie fun because it was a story within a story, and you liked both parts, and you kind of became the kid.
Yeah.
So Grandpa's actually reading to you. You don't want to read about a princess named Buttercup. Stupid name. But it was
it's
meant
not
to be
something
light.
that guys are like, ooh, I can't wait.
No,
Like
being a guy, you're like, that's stupid.
Yeah, so I like the movie. I really like. For me, it was seeing Andre the Giant in the movie that kind of like. I was really into wrestling at the time.
Sure,
and
he could act. And he was charming.
It was tough to understand what he was saying. But they're
French giant,
and the internet has riled up and said that we are not going to be happy if you remake this movie.
Good. I hope they listen to that.
And Cary Elwes says there's very few movies that do everything right. Why remake perfection or something to that point?
What he said was there are very few perfect films out there.
Yeah.
Why mess this one up?
Really? I mean, at the very least, you could do a sequel and have it turn into a turd. That's fine.
Sequel, prequel, you could do anything. You could add on to the mythos. I get that but unfortunately, William Goldman isn't alive, so they wouldn't be his characters. But yeah, you could totally go on that. Or if you're going to remake a film, all right,
there's plenty of shit films out there.
Do the Muppet version of The Princess Bride. I'd watch that.
Yeah,
because that would be funny.
I'm gonna say that I like the way you say mythos. You say mythos. Like, do you know which one's the right one, or do you just
it comes
try
from
to
the
sound
word
fancy?
Myth, so I think it's mythos, but I say mythos just because
that's crazy.
It's better than mythos.
Because when I talk to my buddy Matty P, he has come up with, like, when he's talking about video games, he's talking about melee attacks. Instead of melee attacks, he calls them melee attacks.
Okay, so that sounds like it's a happy melee.
Yeah, to me it just feels like sand in my hand. It's
my
very
hamburger,
melee.
My fries, and my Coke. That's my happy melee.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, you got to melee attack that dude. I'm like, come on, dude. But I mean, he's doing it on purpose. But it's tough. Like, he will say he said it so much that even in regular conversation, he'll be like, yeah, you got to just melee attack that guy.
Yeah, there's only a few words that make me cringe, like the word often.
Oh yeah, where they throw the T.
Yeah, that I don't know why that bugs me. Or axe. If I ask you a question, Brian,
I wanted to
I'm
do
not
a
an
joke.
English scholar, okay, but axe and often they just piss me off.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people just get so fast. I was listening to football yesterday, and they said Baltimore.
Oh no,
Baltimore. Like, I was like, there's no D in this word or in this name, Baltimore. And the guy's, I think he's just talking so fast that Baltimore just comes out. Like, the Baltimore Ravens, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, it's Baltimore. Like, slow it down a little bit and pronounce it right.
I will say this, whether you get the words right or not, every time you say, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm saying that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like,
are you
know what I'm
poking
saying?
fun at Amos?
Huh?
Are you making fun of Amos?
Amos?
Yeah, because he says, you know what I'm saying, a lot.
No, I'm just saying people who say that a lot. Oh, I'm sorry, Amos, if that's what you say. I'm not poking it directly at Amos, no. But if he's in that little minority, it's like,
I think that
or like when they say
stalwart.
OMG. Do you know that to say oh my God takes the same amount of time as OMG?
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm 50. I'm an old man. I'm an old grumpy man.
I think that is
OMG,
very true.
you know what I'm saying?
All right, so let's say that they are making the reboot. Let's say they've thrown caution to the wind, and they feel like flushing some money down the drain.
They said, "Fuck you, fans." Oh yeah, exactly. They've got their $126 budget.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Oh, by the way, I was surprised to that I enjoyed the Aladdin movie, the live action Aladdin.
Won't. That falls right into sacred territory. Fuck all those Disney movies.
It wasn't that. It was.
No.
I've seen some stink. I've seen some stink on those live action ones.
I love the animations.
I did
there's
too.
No need to do live action.
I agree. There was not a need.
One other word, it rhymes with honey.
Yes. Well, honey mouse.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
The honey mouse says.
But yeah, all right. So let's go into the idea that they are definitely going to remake this, whether we like it or not.
So I came up with if I were to recast it, I think I've come up with a couple of roles that I wasn't able to get everybody. Like I couldn't think of a good Princess Buttercup. Like I'm not familiar enough with young actresses that I feel that someone could have filled that role for me.
I failed too. But here's the thing: we're casting under the auspices that if they are going to cast it, here's who wouldn't bother me.
Yes, I still don't want to see the movie.
No,
but if you were going to cast, all right, who would you cast as Wesley?
All right.
Did you have one?
I've only got it done. Here's what I've done.
Well, don't just run through them.
No. I'm gonna tell you.
All right.
I think it should be Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash.
As Wesley?
Yeah.
The Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah, he's the Man in Black.
God damn, he's fucking 90 years old, man. What the fuck?
No. What? Joaquin Phoenix playing Johnny Cash as the Man in Black.
You're making a joke?
I'm fucking with you.
Okay. I was like, dude, that's terrible.
Because that would be because it would be playing opposite Caitlyn Jenner as Buttercup. You know?
All right, I forgot who I'm dealing with here. I forgot who I'm dealing with.
Right.
Normally, I'm the most personality. I've got a lot of stuff going on these podcasts. I'm
telling you, Brian, I don't want this film made, so I would say Joaquin Phoenix playing Johnny Cash as Wesley, the Man in Black.
I'm going to put Michael Jai White. I'm going to have him be the little kid getting the story read to him.
Racist.
No. But what I'm saying is, I'm just going to recast a bunch of stuff, and it's not going to work, so that the movie fails.
Well, here's how. If I had to be serious, I'd go Bill Skarsgård.
As who?
As Wesley.
Oh, really? How old is he? You think he's about 30?
I don't care. We're talking about. You're saying if we cast around that age.
I know, but I'm trying to keep. I would try to keep my whole cast around. So
I don't know the youth as well.
Here we go.
Quite honestly, I don't give a shit about most of them anyway. So.
And that's the guy that plays It, right?
Yeah.
Or Pennywise.
Yep, Pennywise. He's also in Castle Rock on that television series for Hulu.
Yeah, I went somebody that I think has some comedy chops in him and probably could pull off a delivery and also action.
Okay.
So I went Zac Efron.
Okay, yeah, I consider Zac. But see, he's the same age. He's around the same age.
I'm just saying. So that's where
he could do it. Could he handle the comedy? You think?
Yes. Have you? All right. I've seen Neighbors. I love Neighbors. No,
he's a great Neighbors.
And I watched. I love Mike and.
Oh yeah, the
wedding.
Yeah, the date. Yeah,
need wedding dates.
They're great in that too. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that because.
So I think he could pull that off really, really well if Zac Efron were to do it, and he's a good-looking dude.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, because you got to have a heartthrob, you got to have somebody that.
Yes.
Because Cary Elwes is a good-looking guy. You know, Cary Elwes is a good-looking guy, and he made sense with Robin Wright, and they're both English, so.
So I went with that, and I don't have a Buttercup.
All right, I do. If I'm not doing Miss Piggy or Caitlyn Jenner,
all right,
okay, I'm gonna go Kate McKinnon.
Ooh, really? Okay,
because
she is so odd. Like
I know she's, but I think she could do it, man. She's done comedy.
Yeah.
All right, we haven't seen her do like.
But I think she's a one-trick pony. Like she could only do that weird lick the door kind of comment. Like that's just so weird.
But here's
I've never seen her play straight.
I would if we're going to give her a chance, this would be the role that people go, damn, she's good in this.
Now I would almost I cast her as the inconceivable. Like if
gender switch.
if I had to, I think that her personality and her acting stuff would fit the inconceivable guy.
Yeah, I could see that. I think my other one was, I think it was Ellie Daniels. No, but I think Kate McKinnon would be good.
Yeah,
if I can't
it'd
get
be
Miss
fun.
Piggy,
Shit.
then Kate McKinnon. I think because I think with her and Skarsgård, he's so tall and she's so short.
It would just create another dynamic.
And they have a really good facial structure between the two of them because she's just a little manly and he's just a little effeminate.
Really?
You know, just a little weird. He's got
that
the innocence about him. He's like a little man child.
All right.
You know.
Now, did you cast anybody for?
I cast everybody, brother.
All right. Well, then you got more than me. So I'm going to run down the ones that I've got.
Okay.
And then I'm going to live try to shoot on the ones that you've done.
Okay. All right.
I've got. Okay. Who did you cast for Andre the Giant's role?
Peter Dinklage.
Now, is that a joke or are you going for
real?
No,
that's real. Because if I wasn't...
Are we going to CG him?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I was thinking about that.
We did it in the other, so...
I was so you're going for laughs.
Well, I'm going for laughs and also interesting roles. He's a good actor. He's a very good comedy actor.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do
Even
Andre
in
the
Pixels.
Giants, as Fezzik, you got to have somebody with a good accent because... I don't want to see someone else's interpretation of it.
Now, an accent, it doesn't have to be French, though. You're just saying something a little bit hard, something not straight up
But Fezzik
intelligible.
was very simple-minded in his language as well.
Yeah, so what about Shaquille O'Neal?
Okay, well, yeah. All right, if we're going for Giant, I didn't think about him.
Okay, I went Shaquille O'Neal as my Fezzik.
Okay.
And I had a backup. I'm a wrestling guy, so I went with the Big Show. Because he has he has comedy chops too.
Okay.
He does some small WWE comedy movies.
I don't think he would do accent though. So,
no, I don't.
Maybe you just keep him more simple.
I mean, I'm sure,
but he could do it. He could do it. I mean,
but Shaquille O'Neal does have the
and Fezzik doesn't have to be young and hot. So
no, he just needs to be big,
giant. Yeah, well, I can see that. And
I think it would be funny though to do the Peter Dinklage thing. Like I thought about what if we just do voice and have him like the Incredible Hulk, like he's just a CG creation.
Sure. I just think it would be funny to see a giant baby man.
I love the Dink, man. I love the Dink.
He's great in everything.
All right, so let's see who else. Oh, all right. So I've got my Mandy Patinkin.
Okay.
I think
Inigo
Montoya. I went with, I think his name is Lin-Manuel.
Really?
What's his name?
Yeah, Miranda.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda. I might say that all out of order.
Hamilton guy.
Well, he was in House. Yep. I'm a big House guy, and when House was locked up in the Funny Farm, he was his roommate. Okay. And I know that he did some voice acting on something recently.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And he's got that
he could do comedy and he could do drama.
And the accent. That's I think Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
I think that's who I'm going with. I think that'd be a good fit. And he's a comedy guy.
Yeah, no, he could do it. He could do it. If I want this film to fail, I would cast I've already cast Caitlyn Jenner and
all right, so that's the fail film.
Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash playing.
All right.
So my first pick would be Ariana Grande because I hate that bitch.
All right.
But if I can't have Gonzo, all right, as Mandy Patinkin, I actually thought about Kevin Hart.
Oh.
this little musketeer.
Now that you bring it up, I'm thinking Kevin Hart as Maximilian or whatever his name is. Like, have we ever seen Kevin Hart in like old people makeup, like aged really bad?
I don't. Nothing comes to mind, but I can't.
Like he could be that old witch. Like him and Tiffany Haddish could be the tree
I
forgot
people,
what the little tree people.
They're called Miracle Max and Valerie the wife.
Yeah.
I was played by Billy Crystal and Carol Kane. I went Weird Al and RuPaul.
For which roles? The tree people?
Yeah, the tree people.
Oh, that'd be good too.
Or Penn and Teller.
Oh wow! Which are they? But neither one's in drag. It'd just be two people just living together.
Well, actually,
I'd put
Teller in drag. I'd put Teller in drag, and he wouldn't be able to talk. And I would just make sure that Penn is just like trying to like, you say something, kind of like a whole Jay and Silent Bob thing.
Man, I had somebody in mind to play my inconceivable guy.
Oh, and I can't. Zini.
I can't think of who it was. Who did you have for the Inconceivable?
Well, first of all, I have Professor Honeydew for the Muppets. As Inconceivable. Yeah.
I would have got Smorky Borky Bork.
Beaker would have been his Fezzik. All right, so I actually did Sacha Baron Cohen.
Was the Inconceivable? All
because he's a character actor.
Yeah.
And he could do just about it. And he would also bring his own sensibility to it.
Oh, maybe I'll go with Kevin Hart as my Inconceivable.
Okay.
Because you know how he gets that fast talk?
Yeah, he gets twitchy. Yeah. I could see that.
He could do the fast talk.
Yeah.
So we'll have Shaquille O'Neal as Fezzik, and then Kevin Hart will be my Inconceivable, and Lin-Manuel Miranda will be my Inigo Montoya.
These are actually okay for a film that should never be made. We're coming up. I still like my shit version though, the one that will be shut down.
Golly, like just once they throw the casting out, it'll be like Tropic Thunder. 3 days into shooting, they're already 9 days behind schedule. Like I love Tropic Thunder.
Now I will tell you this. I wrote down this note that in order to make sure this film never gets made and it never gets seen, I want it done as unsteady cam found footage as a first-person shooter.
Witch.
I want first-person shooter,
First-person sword fighting?
Yeah, exactly. And I want it directed by Michael Bay.
Oh, wow. Not Michael Moore.
Nope, Michael Bay. Michael Moore.
Yeah, I'm saying you want it to fail.
Well, yeah, no, it's true.
You want it to fail. At least Michael Bay's movie. I stand up for Michael Bay, by the way.
Bay's given some good films.
I know. You just threw him in the... He has given some shit. I mean, but...
Look, Michael Bay's Princess Bride, come on.
Yeah, dude,
all the trees would show that. Yeah. All the exploding forest.
All the CG transforming trees when they go into the fire pit.
Yep. That would be Michael Bay's entire sequence.
All right.
Prince Humperdinck.
I didn't cast a Humperdinck. Like you could cast any villain in there. He didn't strike me as a character that he wasn't overly funny. Like anybody can play a dick.
But he also had the sense of smell. But stick my life on it. Remember?
All right. So did you cast somebody with a nose?
I did. Yes, I did. I did Carmen Electra.
Oh, that's the shit version.
That's the shit version. Yes.
All right.
Fozzie Bear.
Okay, that's the Muppet version.
Waka, I stick my life on it. Waka waka. Here's my series. Timothy Odmanson.
Who is this?
He's from Psych. He plays Lassiter.
Is that the main guy?
Mm-hmm. Well, not the main guy. No. He plays Lassiter, the straight cop. On that one, he also was in that series Gallivant for a couple seasons. It was like very Princess Bride-y type of thing where he played the king.
Oh, okay.
And he's very good. I think he could pull that off.
Oh, you know who I'm going to throw? I'm going to throw it right out there right now. Boom, Hugh Jackman. I'm throwing Hugh Jackman in there.
That would be all right. He could do that. Yeah, because
I think he'd have a lot of fun with it.
He'd have a lot of fun playing like a little pompous ass,
like a little dick.
I stick my life on it. We'd always give him a knife and cut.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is for a shit show. This is not so bad. Now, who would you have cast as Grandpa? You're reading the story.
See, I didn't put a lot of thought into this, but I want somebody old and lovable, and who has diabetes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want him. No, you're talking about the diabetes guy.
The oatmeal man. Thing, yeah, he's in Cocoon and Thing, and
here we go. Let's have some fun. I am going Michael Rooker.
I'm telling you, boy.
Yeah,
this is a good book, son.
He's reading it to his little kid, like a country guy.
All right, I went Jewel.
That's the shit version.
Because I hate that bitch.
You have a lot of hate in your heart, sir.
I am a very hateful person. I put Mandy Patinkin.
Oh, let's bring it full circle.
Let's bring it back.
Let's bring it full circle.
Now, for the kid, who did you cast?
Oh, dude, I don't. It does. You put anybody in there.
Okay. I disagree. I say.
Fred Savage's kid.
Fred Savage. No.
They already did that in Deadpool.
No. No, kidding. No. You do Fred Savage as like a giant kid who won't grow up. So he's in his little sleeper pants.
Oh, man.
Or Peter Dinklage playing a dual role.
No. You didn't get... All those sound like shit ones. All those sound like shit ones. You don't have a real one?
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog.
So tell me about the story here.
No, so a little kid, I mean, it could be, the little kid from any movie.
Yeah.
The kid doesn't have to act much.
It's been a long time since I've seen a child actor I really think is a
good
dude.
Actor. Have you seen Southpaw? Holy shit.
No, I have not.
the girl in that, I know she's done some other stuff since then, and she's no longer as small as she was in Southpaw.
I've seen some better girl actors than male actors as far as little kids go. I unfortunately, there's a lot of shit out there.
Well, dude, when you do finally watch Southpaw, that girl is amazing.
Okay.
And I also didn't mind I don't know if she's still a little girl. I imagine she's like 12 or 13, but she was in the movie, the Shane Black movie, Nice Guys.
Oh.
You know, the daughter.
She's great.
The daughter who was trying to help him solve crimes and stuff.
Yeah, no, she's awesome.
Oh yeah, well we could gender bend so it doesn't have to be a guy in the bed.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
We'll just have Michael Rooker reading to his young daughter.
I think Michael Rooker would be great, actually. Now listen here.
Is there anybody that we have that you have off?
Director, I would say Ron Howard for series. Because
you might as well. Like
Ron
Willow.
Howard and Rob Reiner and Ron Howard have a really good feel-good sensibility.
Oh, speaking of Willow, maybe we could have the old man instead of Michael Rooker. We could have be Val Kilmer.
I don't think Val Kilmer should act anymore.
Oh, really?
When was the last time you saw him in anything good?
Well, he was at that show. I don't know. I liked him in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I think
but that was a long time ago, Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
I mean, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and Tombstone are like top notch Val Kilmer.
Oh, speaking of Tombstone,
but did you ever see? Was it The Island of Dr. Moreau?
No.
Horrible.
I tried to watch it.
Horrible.
But speaking of Tombstone, they're doing Pops.
I heard, and I also heard
they come out in January.
4 different versions of Doc Holliday.
3 different. One is at Target. One is at Walmart.
That's right.
And one is somewhere else. And then the other brothers, like there's no Curly Bill. There's no Curly Bill. It's just the good guys.
Now, speaking of which, Mr. I've cut down on my Pops. Does this mean you're going to be going to get the Tombstone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I will have the complete set of Tombstone.
You're going to get the Tombstone set. Okay.
I will have the complete set of Tombstone at some point. So, keeping with the casting thing, Marvel has announced that they're going to do a She-Hulk, either a series or a movie. I'm not sure which.
Okay. Well, that would be kind of cool. She's deserved it.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Well, and see, she stays green the whole time, and even when in green mode, she's a lawyer, like in the comic books.
Yeah, it's like in the comics. Yeah. No,
so,
I think it's great.
You know who the internet is talking about? First off, let me tell you this: Rosario Dawson has publicly stated that she would like to be.
I hate her now.
Really? Why do you hate everybody?
Because, dude, she was shit as the nurse after season 2 in Daredevil.
That's not her fault.
No, it is her fault. It is her fault because she's acting that way, and she was shit.
Have you
in
not
Luke Cage,
seen
shit in Daredevil?
Have you not seen Clerks 2? Like in Clerks 2, she's so awesome.
Clerks 2, I hated Clerks.
I know. I didn't like Clerks so much, but I like Clerks 2. Clerks 2 was awesome. And did you see her in The Rundown? Come on.
All right, I'm not saying she's a shit actress completely. I'm just saying that all
left
the
a
shit
better
I've
taste
seen
in
her lately,
yeah.
I just hate her acting. God, she's just terrible.
Yeah, well,
and
I do not feel the same way.
I do not want to see her in a lead role, especially in a comic book series that I want to see.
I do not feel the same. I just don't think
she can't do She-Hulk. She's a stick.
I don't know that anybody's going to do She-Hulk properly because she's supposed to be like 7 foot tall and like ripped. So they're probably going to have to do a Hulk, like a Ruffalo Hulk kind of thing,
or find somebody who fits the bill, who's a new actress, because we didn't have Xena. Right before Xena came up.
Yeah, well, there was no Xena character. There was no shoes to fill prior
I'm just
to
saying,
her.
like, but they created a great character, and they found the actress that embodied her.
Yeah, but they didn't. What I'm saying is they didn't have to. They could tailor the character to Lucy Lawless for Xena.
I'm just
whereas
saying,
this is a character
you can find a built tall actress to do this part.
I mean, yeah. So Gwendolyn Christie, you could have her.
Yeah.
She'd have to put on some serious fucking mass.
Yeah, because here's the thing, though. Maybe not so much mass, because most of those scenes would probably be a stunt actress anyway.
Yeah.
All right? They'd probably be putting her in giant lawyer suits, so, that can be puffed up a little bit. You just need somebody who can carry the character.
Well, you know who the internet is saying is in the lead for this, and I am not happy. I'm not going to use the hate word that you like to use so much.
Well, I'm a hateful guy.
But goddamn, Ronda Rousey.
No, God. give her.
I know you haven't played the new Mortal Kombat game, but she does the voice of Sonya Blade.
Sure.
You can hear in her voice acting that she is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it is so emotionless, and so I'm reading the page. I watched her in, Expendables 3. Terrible.
Yeah. You know, she put her hat in the ring for Captain Marvel, too. Back when it came out.
I appreciate what she's trying to do. I appreciate her. I mean, yeah. But, dude, you're in Hollywood. I'll be up for anything. I'd like to play Wolverine. I'd like to play Doctor Doom. Yeah, of course. Who would not want to play those things?
Why not become a really cool side character? Everybody goes, man, that movie was awesome. Do you see Ronda Rousey as this character?
But
she
can't speak.
Roles, man.
She cannot speak.
No,
she cannot. I watched her in that, and then I watched her in Fast and Furious 7 or 6 and 7. Oh, dude, it is rough, man.
No.
Watching her on screen is bad.
I hate that they're giving roles to quote-unquote stars when they could give it to actors that could be discovered.
Where it feels like they're gimmicking somebody.
Yeah. Because Christopher Reeve was discovered as a great Superman. All right?
Yeah.
And he was excellent at it. So find people that embody the character, you know.
Well, much like Hugh Jackman. Granted, Hugh Jackman was an actor prior to being cast as Logan. Not
nationwide.
Yeah, they told me, oh, we're going to cast Hugh Jackman,
Ryan
and
Reynolds,
who the hell is that?
He decided, he wanted to promote Deadpool. All right, he was a big fan of Deadpool.
But he was already Ryan Reynolds prior to that.
But he was also pariahed because of Green Lantern. Who was going to give him another shot until he proved himself that he was the man? And I gotta say, man, he's fantastic in it.
Oh, of course. I'm not second guessing, but I'm talking about like plucking someone from obscurity. Chris Hemsworth, prior to Thor.
Yeah.
Who was he?
Yeah, well,
I'm sure they've done stuff, and I'm not trying to come off as, oh, look at him, just instant stardom. I'm sure he's put in millions of hours of work.
Well, it's what
but
we call the
fame wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. So find actors of that caliber that already fit the mold, that just haven't had their break, and give them a break. But don't take someone who obviously cannot act, Ronda Rousey, and give her a role she can't fill.
Yeah, and they did. Brie Larson.
What about her?
Brie Larson didn't do so good.
Yeah, she's stiff. I'll be honest with you. I thought she was fine in Kong Skull Island, but she didn't really do anything for me. She's fine.
I still don't own Captain Marvel the movie.
You don't own it? Or you haven't
I don't own it. I've watched it.
I don't know. I go back and forth because, like, the way she plays Captain Marvel, and this comes down to the way she was written and directed.
The writing in the movie was not good either.
She just comes off as mega bitch. And I'm not talking about badass bitch. I'm talking like, I'm just in a foul mood and I hate people. Kind of like me. Right?
Badass bitch. Like, my original badass bitch, as far as, like, when I in movies, was Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah, great Gina Davis.
Like, I would never expect Gina Davis from Beetlejuice.
But see, that's inspired, though. Or Accidental Tourist, or Earth Girls Are Easy.
But I'm saying, for me, if you say Gina Davis, I've seen those movies that you've named, but when you say Gina Davis, I immediately go to Beetlejuice. Like, I watched Beetlejuice a million times.
Sure. As most people do.
And then when they were like, oh, that girl from Beetlejuice is going to be in this action movie, when I watched that movie, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
It's one of those surprising moments that when you take an actor that can do the part, but they've just never been given that break before.
Much like Beetlejuice himself.
Beetlejuice.
When he was cast as Batman.
Yeah, Michael Keaton. Or go back to, oh, damn it, I'm so fucking old, I just lost it. Oh, well, Robin Williams, Dead Poets Society.
Yes.
All right? We knew he was funny.
Yeah, Mork from Mork.
I mean, we knew he was funny. He's a comedian. But to pull off the drama as well. Like Jim Carrey in Truman Show.
Yeah.
You know? So when we see these actors get a surprise placement in a movie that is different than we've seen them in, I love that. Because it shows everybody they're capable of more. Sometimes it's the director pulling that out of that actor. But just to cast an actor to fill roles, we're seeing so much of that pandering bullshit right now. Gender swap, color swap. I fucking hate it. Just get a good actor. Get somebody who's good in it.
That's what I'm saying. Just if you're not remaking something, then there's no one saying that, oh, you're just gender swapping, or you're doing.
Just make a good character.
Make original content.
Yeah, exactly.
Make some original content.
I mean, because I love.
Ooh, did you watch that Netflix movie? It was a big deal. It was I can't think of the name of it. It was all Asian. It was an all Asian movie where Keanu Reeves was playing like the boyfriend, like for a little cameo.
No.
Oh, it was like an Asian director, 2 Asian leads.
You're not talking about Crazy Rich Asians.
No. This was a Netflix only movie.
Okay.
It's a Netflix movie, and it's funny. And it was written by I think it was written by the comedian lead female.
Huh. Okay.
And the main boyfriend, we've seen him in everything as far as comedies goes. He's the guy that played Kim Jong Un on The Interview. You know who I'm talking about? That guy. So he was like the boyfriend, and it's a love story about him trying to hook up with the girl, and it's like an all Asian cast, and it made waves for being a whole Asian driven movie here in the United States. But Keanu Reeves plays Keanu Reeves.
Okay. All right.
And she like that's her ex-boyfriend, but he is like extreme dick. Like
he's playing himself as a dick.
Well, his character name is Keanu Reeves, but he is like straight dick, and it's hilarious the interaction between those guys.
I trust any movie that Keanu wants to do anymore because he doesn't do a film he doesn't love to do because he doesn't need to do.
And special concessions were made for him to be a part of this.
That's great.
Like he had to flight, land, film, do some shit, come back. Like he went out of his way to be a part of the project because he liked it.
He's a stellar actor, and I'm really surprised at how good.
The reason I brought that up is nobody's talking about gender swapping or why did you cast all Asians because it's original content.
Right? Exactly.
If you had called this, Sex in the City, they would have been like, "Oh, you cast all these Asian people." Just make original content, everybody.
The whole reason why, I hear they're remaking Splash, only they're making Channing Tatum.
The mermaid. That sounds hilarious. But just call it something else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just make a merman movie.
Exactly.
Don't make it Splash.
Like, do you think they're just doing that just so they can cash that check a little bit more?
It reeks of it. Oh,
it's terrible. There's so many movies that they're just like, this is kind of similar to this movie, and we'll just slap the name on it and see if we can get some extra bucks.
I'm okay if the movie is like. Right, if you're doing Mad Max, right? You're remaking Mad Max, but it was its own film. They didn't remake. I shouldn't say remade Mad Max. They made Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah,
but they didn't.
They didn't discard anything,
right?
And it wasn't the same story. They just used that same setting and the same characters.
And it made it made new characters. I mean, with Furiosa, and Charlize Theron. That was a brilliant movie about taking a known entity and furthering the mythos of it.
Mythos. We're going to close this out with some mythos. The Fresh Maker.
Well, I'm all about ego. It's all about me, mythos.
Mythos. Me. I like that. Well, thank you for listening to the podcast. JR, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me at my house in Mableton if you want to come by and be social.
Or find us at Paco's. Get some nachos.
You can find me on Facebook under my name, Instagram under my name. You can email me. I don't care.
All right. Well, thank you for being my co-host for the day. And thank you guys for listening. Please share. Tell us, give us some guidance. Give us some feedback. Let us know what's going on. And as always, stay creative.
It's almost time.